We can boost your reach via clipping. You know what I have to do? I gotta get the I gotta get this YouTube like and subscribe button back. I deleted it by mistake. So CRE, I think, I don't know. We'll see. It's early. Could be finished. Maybe could still give a move. Hopefully we see something at the 8 a.m. mark. If not, maybe there will be something else. But it's pretty early. Want to take it slow, be patient, and see if we get some more opportunities. As usual, I butcher all the freaking the typos, I tell you. The typos. Typically they say when you write you have to read over what you write. Pastor does not do that at all, it would seem. I got to figure out how to set up this Twitch stream once and for all. This is going to be something to do for today, so that we can go live on Twitch, maybe Facebook as well. CRE curling up a little bit. I'm not really interested in it here, but you know, nice move. Balancing from the 650 levels. Curling up. So far in the month, it's a bit of a slower month. Well, we're green, so we'll take it, but definitely some turbulence still. Like the first week of the month, which was a hotter week, I think we could have done a little bit better. We were traveling, and I remember the first day. Was it the first day of the second week, maybe? Or yeah, second day of the first week, we had broker issues, which cost us pretty dearly. I think that Tuesday, if I remember correctly, would have been a great day. Even with the trades I was taking, I had some great trades, but I wasn't able to. I forgot what it was. I think I wasn't able to sell or something like that, like something along those lines with broker issues. So I pretty much got cooked that Tuesday. Wednesday, I took it slow to like make sure everything was working, and then Thursday, Friday, it's like my mojo a bit in the week got a little thrown off. The third week, which was the team house week, there was just slow momentum, and I got cooked every day, down 2,500 last week, which was the worst week for me in like maybe like 6 months. This thing is still trying here. No trades for me, but you know it could go here. There's over 8, but the risk could be real here. Some traders will definitely like it, but again, a bit of a double top, right? A bit of a triple top, really. And that looked pretty good. Right now we are still in the lab. Still in the lab. I think yesterday was the kind of day where, like, I pushed it a little bit in this type of area and then gave back on CRE. As you're tuning in on YouTube, be sure to hit the thumbs up. So, as mentioned yesterday, okay. Um, Dang, I'm losing my train of thought. Oh yeah, as you're tuning in, hit the thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, subscribe to the channel. We're going to aim for the 8 a.m. start time, and then we're going to try to push even for 7 a.m. eventually. SOAR definitely seems interesting. I didn't check to see if there was news. I hope I got a decent fill. Not a great trade there. Held it a little too long for a breakout, but I tried back down. Small loss. Curious of my fill though. 34. Screen 2 cents unrealized. Didn't take it. Very aggressive pullback here. I'm a little late to it. It did start all the way down there at 15, so the move could potentially be over here. Took a while before hitting the scans. Didn't hit the scans until 27 cents. I did take a while to pull it up though. Could have had it up much sooner. And new WE. This one is their news. I gotta start using there's news 24 hours ago. Doesn't really excite me because the news headline is like a little older, but if it takes off, it could be something. But for now, no trades, no trades. By the way, how's my audio? Audio looks good. Smitty B, what's going on, man? Long time no see. Yeah, we were on like a 1 month of traveling here. I've traveled a little too much maybe this year, and I'm thinking about going to Brazil and Hong Kong. So maybe I will, but if when I travel because my computer is too slow, there's no way I can live stream. The computer is just not in that place. Maybe I need to upgrade. I got the new Lenovo that Ohad and Marcelo uses. The MSI computer that I have in the past I had no issues with, but for some reason now, like, I don't know if I would say I don't think it's the internet because I had good internet everywhere I was, and UWE. I had good internet, but when I was in the Netherlands, I was using Wi-Fi, so there's something there. But typically, I never trade on Wi-Fi ever, but I did, and could that have something to do with some of the lag I was seeing? Maybe, but my entire computer felt like it was freezing. The audio that was coming through would elongate. So if I'm listening to a scanner or a YouTube video at different times, it's like, the person speaking would get stuck on a word almost for like a full second or two. The whole computer freezes and then it goes again. But it didn't happen on this next trip in Vancouver, which is, interesting because I'm running the same exact layout. But I was also then connected to the internet via a wired connection. But internet speed wise, both of the internet were on par in terms of upload and download. So streaming on a trip is kind of tough. But we are back at home after a full month of being on the road. Great experiences though, can't complain. Very different, each location. Everywhere is a bit unique, but the one thing that remains the same is the beautiful market here. As you guys can see, we are trading the pre-market now as well, compared to back in the days. We'd only trade the open. We don't really trade after hours as much, but it's something that could be an opportunity as well. But CRE, another small red to green for those traders who love the bottom fishing here. Nice move back up. For me, it's in no man's land. Even though there are still these setups, I'm not interested. But nice opportunities though, right? We had lows there of 594 and we curled up. So break of the bear flag pushing over 670. Yeah, man, SOAR, I can't believe I missed this whole thing. Oh, you went from 21, what was that? 15 to 25 in in 10 seconds. Yeah, there probably wasn't much there to begin with. Maybe break of 31. Yeah, break of 31, and then that was pretty much it. Deja vu. Clickbait. Clickbait, clickbait, clickbait. Don't forget as you're tuning in to hit the thumbs up. Right now, we're just on the sidelines here, taking it slow. AVL. Again on the sidelines, waiting patiently here, waiting patiently. Waiting patiently. Not much hitting the scans at the moment. Oh yeah, let me write this. Let me write this down. Let's see. VRLS, lighter volume. It did make a move recently. Is there any news? August 26th. It's showing that there's a headline. Nice. Canadian company doing packaged food. School lunches sounds like the yeah, but no volume here. No volume. So still waiting to see if we get something, maybe 8:30. So tomorrow the live stream will start at 8 a.m. again. I'll push for 7 a.m. Perhaps maybe starting next week. But the goal will be to be here every day, 8 a.m. market time. The beast mode, what's up? Guys, don't forget the disclaimer, by the way, right? If you're new to the channel, remember that day trading is risky. Day trading is risky business. It's best to go slow in the beginning, become competent, become experienced before exposing yourself to risk, to a lot of risk, especially. The good thing with trading, though, that I always tell people is that you can learn at a very low cost. You know, especially now with the PDT being removed down to 2K, you know, you can literally start very slow, very small, use small amounts of cash, risk money or simulator, practice, improve, and then once you're at a place where you feel very good, then you can increase your capital, increase your risk, increase your share size. But if you're new and you're just, you know, going guns blazing, your retirement fund or, you know, your life savings or even just regular savings, it's not a good idea because you're going against people who are experienced. You're going against computer systems, algorithms, banks, institutions, all these Wall Street guys, all these experienced short sellers. And so the competition is fierce. And if you're not quite prepared, there's a high chance that you're pretty much going to lose. So until you get as good as you need to be, there's no need to really expose yourself to a lot of risk. You got to be able to manage your money, manage your mind, manage your emotions, and then when you're at a good place, you know, you can you can do your thing. In terms of 9:30, we are still trading 9:30. I'll never stop trading 9:30. I don't care about what anybody says. The reality is that when the market is hot, the amount of money that you can make in the first hour or two, it's incredible. I mean, we just saw it in June, right? You know, myself in the chat room by extension. I mean, you know, shout out to Big Steve who had a great month trading just 9:30 to 10:30, or 9:30 to 11 a.m. So for me, I always want to keep a read on the temperature of the market for that time. I will not trade that time every day, but it's definitely going to be an option. CRE, does it make a new high of day here and hold? These areas are very tempting. Like it does look good to potentially make a new high, but we've rejected twice, 3 times. Will it go the fourth time? Is the fourth time the charm here? If the volume is high, mid 80s, mid 90s, it could attempt the new high, but the risk might be there as well. So the live stream, I'll probably aim for maybe 10:30, I think is a good time. So we'll do like 8 a.m. to 10:30 and then eventually 7 a.m. to 10:30. On days where the market is hot and we're seeing opportunities into the open, we're going to pretty much just stream all day till the close, maybe even after the close, depending. Like yesterday, the open had some action, but it was tough to manage risk. It was tough to hold on to green. And I told myself, hey, literally $100 max loss, right? Because I'm coming into the day up 1100 and I already gave back half, which, you know, that in itself is like a very tough place, tough position to be in, right? Like the right thing to do, I think, is to just walk away. But, you know, it makes it tough because then I have like a conflict of interest, right? I'm back from the trip. You know, I discussed on the trip with the guys that I'm going to be live streaming again. It's tough to walk away when you kind of are setting these expectations, and then to stand here and see opportunities and then not trade is even more difficult, I'd say. Because the reality is that you know, you could always make back money, you can always, you know, recoup, but on the other side of that is that you're risking and you can lose more, right? And yesterday that's what happened to me. I lost even more. So from a day where I had about 2300 in gains, it went down to 1200, 1100 by the open. I said, hey, $100 max loss. Well, what happened? I started the day up 300 at the open, right? So I added it. And then I got way too aggressive in one trade for a break of high of day that I thought looked really good, sized up. And in the blink of an eye, I'm down 340. So $600 loss there. And then I'm asking myself, like, man, maybe, you know, walking away may have been the right move. And, you know, normally a $300 loss in that area isn't really the issue. The issue is the inconsistency of how the stock was moving in the first 20 minutes of the open. You know, looking like it was in a great position, great situation, and then rejecting. So I'm like, you know what, man? we will take it. And of course, we still took one last trade on a penny stock that came back up and then got cooked as well. So we're like walking away in the green, $500. We'll just take it. Frustrating though, because on days like yesterday, where I would say for what I'm looking for, it's a little hotter, I definitely should be leaving with way more gains. Being that a red day for me could easily be 5, 6, 700 if I'm just to size up in one wrong trade in the pre-market. Like I could easily be red down 700 in the pre-market, like I was today. In fact, on DAIC, right? So the key is to just follow the rules relative to percentages. It's like, hey, if most days when you give back half, you continue to lose, just, on those days, you just have to leave, man. It is the hardest thing because opportunities can be in your face and the market can, unless we're in like an extremely hot market, I think that's the only time you can throw the rules out the window a little bit and give yourself some slackness, some play. But if we're not in a month like June, for those 2-3 weeks, it's not worth it. Now, if your metrics are telling you, hey, you can lose 50% of the profits, but then you make it back 80% of the times, then of course you'd want to follow your metrics in that type of situation. Yeah, if you're using Thinkorswim, Charles Schwab, you have to make sure to put your time in force, your TIF, to day plus, I believe it is. Or is it? No, I think in Schwab it's different. It's EXTGTC, I think. Just check on ChatGTP first. It's been a long time since I used the platform, like over a year already. But I think it's GTC EXT. Good till close and extended hours, something like that. But then if you want to trade market open, I think you have to change it back to intraday or day. I think it's called day. So that's like a bit of a, thing that can happen, which for me in the past, I had my time in force set to trade the pre-market, and then at 9:30 you hit the buy button, it rejects because you have to change it back manually. Now if you're utilizing DAS as an attachment, I think you should be able to have access to day plus with no problem, which will allow you to trade every time of day, pre-market, market open, and after hour all under one umbrella for the time in force. Also, I think when you're trading pre-market and extended hours, you might have to sign some disclosures, some agreements within the broker itself. So you can either call in or text maybe the support. Make sure you have all the proper documents filled out. That way you can trade smoothly here without any issues. And remember, limit orders only if you're trading the pre-market. No market orders will work. Only limit orders. So we got some beginners here as well, which is good. What do you check for before entering a trade? Only paper trading right now. So this is a long one here. There's multiple things because trading does require us to multitask. And this is going to be me giving you a crash course here. This will be me giving you a crash course, right? So before you even look at a ticker, there's a couple of things you want to keep in mind. First, you want to have a good scanner. There's a few out there that are free. There's some in your broker that are free. The one that I'll be using very soon is called Charts Watcher, which will pretty much be a cheaper version of this right here. this is day trade dash, which is good, but you know, a little overpriced maybe. But so I'm going to switch over to charts watcher. But anyhow, the point is you need a scanner to essentially see what stocks are moving up real time, right? That's how we were able to see this particular ticker here, CRE. From that point, you want to make sure that there's good volume, adequate volume. This is something that maybe over time you'll get better at, like, determining, right? The volume is a little subjective because some people will trade a stock with lighter volume, others will trade a stock with a little bit more volume. Like, for example, MI is moving up, and we're currently at a high of 212. There's 134,000 shares of volume, but it doesn't seem to be aggressive. The spreads are fairly tight, but it doesn't seem to be pushing up. The percentage isn't rising, which are also some other things to keep in mind. Again, it's a very detailed question, right? So stock selection is important. Having a scanner is important. Understanding, you know, how to choose a stock to trade is like one of the bigger parts. So again, volume, spreads, percentage gain, float is important as well. Making sure that the float is between maybe, let's say, less than a million and also under 10 million, or about 10 million. The float has to do with supply and demand, and it's literally pretty much the shares available for the public to trade. So if there is limited shares available to the public and there's also a good headline, a good news headline, then you can get a lot of people trying to trade one stock, which will give it a high chance of like moving up quickly, right? That's how you pretty much get a stock to squeeze and give a high percentage gain, like CRE, which is up 160% in a very short amount of time, right? This is why, for me, I don't even care to trade, like, you know, how some people might say they think crypto is the best or something else might be the best. It's important to have exposure over time, you know, build a portfolio long term, and swing trading stuff, you know, that's key. But what more do I need if a stock is going to go up 160% in 10 minutes? Literally, in 10 minutes, you could be done on the day if you're able to capture this consistently most days, right? We see a guy like Ross Cameron as well, who are sometimes able to do it. Marcelo, great example here in our community as well. Ohad. Right now, I don't even like to call my own name as much because whilst I've done it for years on end, as of the last like 12 months, I've been a little bit more rocky, right? I still want to see, I've gotten way better though, but since my account got banned, I've been able to get way more consistent from that point, but still need to push a little bit more. VCIG. So, you know, after you have a good stocks to trade, a good stock selection, you know, the spreads are tight, the float is low, the percentage the percentage in the stock is going up, the volume is going up. It comes down to then a technical pattern. And there are many patterns you can trade, whether it's a new high, right, on a candlestick, a bull flag, a red to green. For me right now in pre-market, I'm being very aggressive towards new highs. It's risky business because you're buying the stock high, trying to sell it higher. But there are days where you do that, and then where you bought was literally the high, and it's not going to go any higher, and then you can find yourself just with downside, right? So there's risk, of course, in every strategy. But on the days where we are seeing something strong, which is why for me stock selection is so important, because if I can determine which stock can give a little bit more of a move, then I'll be buying and the stock is just going straight up. Other people don't like to trade like this. Some will wait for a pullback and like a bigger dip. And all those strategies I can trade, but I find that like in the last 12 months, especially at market open where I used to trade mostly, you know, it's been way more choppy, way more risk associated with some trades. So the opportunity is still there. There's guys in our group, in our chat room, who they only trade 9:30 every day, and they're still managing to make thousands of dollars every single time. So, But there are some nuances in this strategy of hyper scalping, right? VCIG, by the way, here. Mm, yeah, it's close to being good. It's like a little risky though. Like the spreads are opening up. I almost took a trade there. I'm glad I didn't. News. It does have news as of 3 minutes ago. There's a new high over 17. I think I'll stick to small size here if I do take a trade. I'm a little skeptical. Damn, that was a good bounce. This stock is like, it's decent, but I don't think it's great yet. A bit of a double top right there, 40 to 20. So the new high isn't really like extending, which would be risky for me, right? But it could change at any second if it's strong here. It could open up some more. And it does not open up some more. This is Christmas treeing for now. It is tough because this looked good. This looked great. I mean, well, not great, but it looked very close to what it needed to be. I'm a maniac, I will say, because it takes a very aggressive person to do what I do, which is to like buy the stocks in these areas where they're so extended. But I think since I started trading, I've been like a breakout trader, For some reason, I just find it easier to hit the buy button on a breakout versus on a dip. Although I can do it, it just takes like one more ounce of like, aggression, I'd say. Lethal in the chat room in at 357, out at 386 with a nice trade. So some guys in the chat room, they got it early. Looking pretty good. Looking pretty good. But yeah, coming back to the question of like, how do we determine an entry? How do we trade? It's much more detailed than everything I just mentioned, but it's kind of like an outline there. You got your stock selection, your scanner, from there, your technical pattern. You always want to think about your profit target relative to your stop loss. Like, hey, how much can I potentially make in this trade? How much will I lose if it does go against me? And if it goes against you, you have to be ready to cut yourself out of the trade at a place where you're below the support or the stock is just weak. You should never be in a trade and not know where you should be getting out. You need to be risk first. Being risk first helps you to manage better, in my opinion. That way, you're never improvising in the moment and wondering, where do I get out? Or should I buy more as it's going down? Because there are days where stocks like this will bounce and maybe it comes up to your average and you're able to get out flat. But there are days where it just keeps going down, 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 and then if you kept buying and you didn't know where you should get out, in one day we've seen it in just one day your account could be gone, and it's why trading is risky. Not only because you can lose in particular trades, but if you get compromised mentally or if you just make a series of bad decisions, it can ruin your account. So again, if you're new, risk money or simulators, right? There's no need to trade big size if you're new. Just, go slow, practice, improve. If you're, I would recommend checking out our course. Myself, Marcelo, a couple other guys who upload to this channel. We've all made a day trading course which goes from 0 to advanced. I'd recommend checking it out because it covers everything in full detail with examples, with live video examples from our own trading, us going over charts and everything that we've done here pretty much over the last few years. I can post a link here. And obviously, this is not like, I'm not, this is just a pitch, but if you're interested. If you're not interested, that's fine too. You can learn from the YouTube channel, but the YouTube channel is like in a place for people who are already somewhat like knowing what to do, but needs that extra step. But very soon, we're going to be putting out more content for beginners as well to help out. Merciless markets, and we're now going to be doing our coaching calls again. After this last trip, myself, Marcelo, the team, we've been talking. Our coaching calls are coming back, where we're going to be doing pretty much mentorship sessions more directly with the students. So on top of the course, if they still need, guidance with their trading and want us to help review trades with them and go over their stats, go over their metrics, give them feedback in a small group setting and sometimes even in a one-on-one setting, we're going to be doing that here as well. Yeah, when you know your stop before entering a trade, it's huge, man. It's huge. And the ECN fees, there's a question about ECN fees. The ECN fees aren't bad. The key is though, like the key is to make sure you're not taking too many trades. And for me, I don't trade sub one at all on these platforms because there's just sub one. Boy, oh boy. Sub one is the killer. You guys don't want to hear me go on about sub one. SBFM pushing up a little bit, 21%, 1 million shares of volume. I avoid, so I did it like 2 days ago. Like, was it no. Was it the week before the last? Or was it yesterday? Man, my memory's kind of cooked. It might have been like last week or something. But anyhow, the point is, sometime recent ago, I gave into temptation of trying to trade sub one because there was a hot move, and my hotkeys on Webull were not set up. Man, it might have been the day before yesterday, or yesterday, something like that. My memory's kind of cooked. The fee is just like every one trade, and I'm only using like 5,000 shares. Like, just unbelievable. So after like 2 or 3 trades, I'm like, yeah, this isn't gonna work. It can, like, if you do it below sub $1, you have to like take one great trade, and hopefully it's a good winning trade, and then that's it. But to say you're gonna try a couple times, nah. That's where the killer really is. But above $1 isn't bad. especially if you're not trading a ton. Like back in the days, if I traded like that, I wouldn't even be able to survive at all. Like back in the days, we would trade three, four, 500 trades, and it made sense back then because of the strategy, the platforms we're using. Even with Webull in the open, I don't trade that much, but I would be willing to if the market conditions were the exact same as in the past, and I didn't need to make any adjustments to my strategy. Then I would have kept trading 400 or 500 shares, 500 trades a day rather, and just keep making a couple $1,000 every day, and increase my size and so forth and so forth. Right. Um, but way less trades now with trading pre-market. Like if we compare what I'm doing now to the open of the past, like today, let's see how many trades did I take. 3, 4, 5. I got it. I got what? Not 10 trades, bro. This is like would be a joke compared to. Oh man, even thinking about this stuff just hurts my soul just a little bit because it reminds me of the old days so much, you know. But we're in a new era, and we have to force ourselves to keep making change and adjustments. But yeah, you know, I'll be honest. Like, there's there's a lot of risk in the pre-market because unlike the open, I mean, you know, the halts going down when a stock is dropping too fast, it at least gives you a chance to breathe, even though it might gap lower. In the pre-market, the stocks will just go down and there's no halts. But in the inverse as well, right? There could be a really strong move to the upside that really opens up more without getting pinned, right? So there's that. The risk is very present, but the opportunity is very present as well. But if you can snipe the entries, man, like CRE, I was a little disappointed because I traded it well in the first few candles, and then I think it was over 550, maybe. No, over 580. I didn't get back in because you know I'm like, okay, we're looking decent now. We got some gains, and that's literally the only reason I didn't get back in, which is probably not a good reason to not get back in, right? And if I had only just hit the buy button again, I could have caught this entire candlestick here, which happened very quickly. But I'm like, man, one more buy, I could have tripled my day. And it's like, but the FOMO, if you let the FOMO get to you, then you know, which is what happened to me yesterday, actually, right? Yesterday, I missed so many opportunities that like I started forcing trades, and before you know it, you're over trading more. And then also on top of that, you're losing in your P&L, and then you're just cooking yourself. VCIG back up. This one does have news, so if it gets over 445, which it might, I think I'll stick to small size though. Forget how much the light starts to affect my eyes here. Maybe I put on the blue light glasses. The thing is with these stocks, sometimes The thing is with these stocks, sometimes I took a $30 loss there. They just go. Sometimes they just go, and then you kind of are like, on your heels a little bit. But I'll be patient. Try to go a little early. I'll just let it do its thing. If I miss a few trades, that's fine. I do like that it's curled back up though. There's 35 to 17. Not exactly what I want to see. I need to see more bullishness than that. Can we rip through? I'm attempting it here. What is it going to be? It's going, it's going, it's going. All right. Not bad. Buying the high, selling higher. Working out in that trade. But can we get over 69 though? It's like it's looking decent, but it's not great still, which, is not a great thing. We need the stock to be great so that our risk is limited. Is it worth another try? Instant loss there. Not good. So plus 130 to red. $30 again. Not great. Probably could have took a little less size on that trade. But it did look decent. See, this time over 60, it's like a tight spread. When I got in there, instantly 13 cents down. I mean, just come on. What nonsense is this, brother? Probably, and I sized up there. That was the issue too, right? Bro, come on. It would have been lovely for that first trade to work. Double top at 5. It's like it's not really opening up as much as I would have expected. Like double topping at 5 there is crazy. It should be, if it's strong, it should be like flying up. Green $17. Okay, there's over 5. Oh, that was a great trade there. Lovely. I got 5 to 550. Just 500 shares though, but nice. See, again, when they sometimes they just go and you don't even anticipate that move, There are some sellers here, which, and then it's right back down to 5. Jeez. $5 to 550 though. That was, not expected, but I shall take it. There are sellers. It hasn't sold off yet, which is a decent sign that maybe there's some people supporting it, some big buyers, maybe whether an individual or a bank or something. But if it sells off here, then the sentiment here is definitely cooked. But usually when sellers come in, it's not a great sign. But this one here being resilient. I remember back in the days when in market open, whenever a seller would come and be like, I'd be instantly selling. But nowadays, like, depending on how the move looks, maybe this one does hold the pullback. Some people only wait for the pullback. So no, some people they didn't take any trades here. They're just waiting to see the pullback. And if the pullback holds up, then they love to trade the pullback and then, the next move. Wow. Dang, there's like 1 year there's like 1 year worth of dust on these glasses. I gotta go wash them off. That was not good. I was thinking maybe the 1 minute candle would make the new high. It rejected and just run right down. Guys, don't forget as you're tuning in on YouTube to hit that thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. We're going to be back with the daily live streams every day at 8 a.m. market time. And then next week, we're going to push for 7 a.m. Damn, I needed to put some soap on this thing. Cooked. These are blue light glasses, right? Like if the computer screen or maybe even just your regular light, I have this like light up here that's just it's aiming right to the screens and then like behind the screen is like a white wall. It's really hitting the wall and then like reflecting back. So sometimes it feels like when I wear a hat, I can like, have that shade right here to cover it. If not these, I'll have to put on the meta glasses next. Which I've done before once, I think, once or twice. Yeah, sometimes saying things out loud can be good. Someone here mentioning sometimes it's good to say their stops out loud because it helps. Like today, I went into the chat room and typed, I will not give in to FOMO. Because it seemed like I needed a place to just say it out loud, which is why for me, live streaming is really good sometimes, because if I'm here in front of the audience, like I have no choice, you know, because like you have to stay accountable. MSS moving up. Lighter volume. There's, I believe there might be a headline here, 9 a.m. Oh, there's a seller. There's a seller that might be an issue. Does it have what it takes to rip through $2? If this thing gets over 2, I think it could move, could open up. There's 97. Does it have what it takes? Oh, that was so close. Ah, yeah, I didn't take it the second time. Okay, I'm losing on this one. Not good. Damn. Pretty close, pretty close. I bought up at 219 for the push, but it is getting cooked. Actually, oh shit. Yeah, crap. Yeah, this is probably not going to be that good. I'm seeing that it already... Yeah, crap. Should have been able to avoid that. Although it was good to see it break through a seller, though. It's been, you know, we've been seeing more of that, which is a good sign at least. Blood clot. Probably might need another screen, bro. Freak. Maybe I put it over here. Let's see. It's just way too zoomed in. Or... Yeah. I lost $300 there, which isn't good. MSS Farmer Runner. Well, that break of 2, I think, was a good setup. I just didn't buy it again. If I did, I would have made like 15 cents. But I didn't get back in. After it didn't go the first time, like once the seller was kind of gone, like, you know, not gone, but just a couple shares left. The second time, I'm like, is it going to be a bluff? And it just ripped right through. So right idea there, wrong timing. In at 19, 18, out at 08. Couple thousand shares, you know, 2,000 shares. 97, 96, 95. Back on the sidelines. I think that's probably going to be it until 9:30. So I'll wait for 9:15 and then I'll go make some breakfast and then be back at 9:30. But I'll leave the live stream on. We'll go till 10:30, just 1 hour into the open. Probably I don't know if I will trade, but we'll see. This is the thing though with trading, right? Like there's so many what ifs, but you have to keep your mind clear from that and just stay focused on the next opportunities to come. Because part of me is thinking like, what if I just got back in at 2 where I wanted to, right? Where I was taking the first trade, and I would have made that sweet gain. But can't get into that mindset. Gotta just, hey, took a loss on the chin, smile, move on. So CRE, VCIG, MSS, which is pulling back. Getting booked. Getting booked. Getting booked. Getting cooked. So in my mind, right? This is very powerful. In my mind, I see myself being one of the best traders here in the community, one of the best traders in the chat room. But my trading skills at this moment is like a lagging indicator. So every single day I'm going to come in and I'm going to push forward towards being better. Every single day, every single time. And we're going to do it live. We're going to do it live like we did in the past for 3 years straight, 4 years straight. Now we're going to do it live starting today. Today's day 1. I got a nice avocado here that I'm going to... I think this is going to be my breakfast maybe till 10:30. Man. Maybe, what if I do, let's see, maybe if I do... trying to figure out how to configure my screen, considering I'm on the live stream here. Because I need... yeah, maybe this will work. Let's see. When I'm on the live stream, it does changes a few things with like how my screen is laid out. The open, bro. The open better. The open had better be good today. I'm giving myself a max loss of like 150. And I'm going to do a better job than I did yesterday with sizing. I'm going to be more careful, go slower, and just look to build with small size rather than to try to size up after small green. Because I got to have more of a marathon mindset at the open and just look to build slowly rather than being aggressive. So, but if I do lose like 150 with small size, then I'm not even going to stick around. But I will, bro. There's nothing that there's nothing that's gonna stop me from being able to manage risk at the open. Watch out for all the traps that are laid for us long bias traders, and slowly and patiently play my role to capture green. I firmly believe that I can capture green at the open consistently. So now I'm going to make it happen. And I'm going to do it live. The people's champion back in action. And not only that, the people love watching because, we can give out a lot of confidence. I think it's important for us to feel good about ourselves, even if we're going through a tough time. For those of us who might have had a max loss day yesterday, max loss week for me last week, you still have to show up and have a positive mindset to push forward. Because, it's not going to be easy and there's going to be more obstacles and hurdles in the way, but, we have to push through. The trading team, myself, Marcelo, Ohad, Big Steve, Dash, all the traders here in the community, we don't give ourselves a choice but to push forward. So, it's the only thing that we can do, and we'll do it with a smile. We'll do it with a smile. So once again, don't forget to hit the thumbs up as you're tuning in. Hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel if you're a new viewer. Mobile. What's up? What's up? So in recap, for those people tuning in, we did have some trades at 7 a.m. on CRE, which did put us in the green after a red start. Or was it 8 a.m.? I think it might have been 8 a.m. We started red on DAIC, which, was kind of tough. But then CRE came along, which put us into green. And then we had some small trades on NEXR and then VCIG. VCIG, we did catch a 50-cent move with small size, which gave us like $100 there. It was more like 40 cents. MSS, however, we did just lose 300 on. We're net green on the day, but we did lose 300 off the top. The fine line, man. The fine line. It's close. It's close. It's close. Okay, I'll be back in like 2 minutes. I'm going to peel this avocado, put some salt on it, and call it a breakfast here. So into the open, I think CRE. Let me write it down before I go. VCIG. I don't have any penny stocks on the radar here today, although that could change at the open. MSS, which I'm not too sure about. It's probably not going to be that good, being that we didn't continue. And we had a move already in a pass. Let's see. What else did we have? SBFM. Was this a good one? CRE, YYGH. Maybe I put this like this. I think maybe, is that going to be better? Nah. It just doesn't feel like something doesn't feel right, even though my screen is like massive. Okay, maybe side by side might be better. And it is not giving me the option to. Okay. And okay. All right, let's just do this 5 and then just put this as 1. Yeah, so DAIC. This actually looks interesting as well. I think DAIC looks interesting. And avocado from Mexico, brother. So apparently there's this right here, right? There's this one, and then there's these. Apparently this is the real avocado. And this right here is GMO. I don't know how true this is. I have to like do the research, but that's what I heard. So sadly, I have the GMO one here, so I might be cooked. But we'll see. I'll do some research on that later. But I'll be back in like 2 minutes. Maybe more like 5 or 3. All right, we are back. I wonder if I zoom out, how that will change things. Hmm. Bro, it just looks so weird. Like, what happened to me is that I got so used to my traveling setup, right? It's been like a month of me on my traveling trading setup. So I got so used to those, like the screen size and the layout and everything there. Okay, okay, 6 minutes to go. Let's just lock in here. All right, in terms of like what to watch at the open, in terms of what to watch at the open, in fact, we don't really need this anymore. MSS is not, I'm not really interested in this one. So CRE, let's take a look here. It seems like it could already be backside, so it doesn't look that good. Maybe if it gets through VWAP and then, pushes over 7, there could be something, but what we see into the open is that the stock can go up $1 a share and then right back down and then right back up and then right back down. And so even if it does get over 7, it's like it doesn't even mean anything. So waiting at least a couple of minutes could be good. This one popped and dropped, and this is a pretty big move. 47 up to 71. I missed that in the not the bathroom, eating the avocado. VNRX. Wow. Hard to manage risks though, right? I think when a stock is going that quick. And then Christmas tree right back down. So not much there. DAIC, which I think may be the best option. I think this will be my main stock into the open. DAIC. My Robinhood position doing pretty well for a swing trade, which is good to see. I think I'll keep holding another couple days to see how Bitcoin does. I did mention that, being on a vacation for a month straight, it's like you're not able to manage as well as you would like. And so I've missed my ad spots, my entry points, everything for some of these swings. Like even Robinhood, I should have had a way more size. I had a trade on Rocket Lab that I already sold. That trade should have had more size because when the stocks are dipping, I'm like out at a lunch, out at a beach, just whatever it might be, or just shutting down my computer for vacation mode, and then you're missing all the entries. Yeah, slow and steady for me. Couple hundred shares, gonna stick to small size. Even if I am able to see some decent green early, not gonna size up. Just gonna take it slow. If I can just get a couple $100, honestly, at the open, it'll be good. But we are green already in the pre-market. The key here is to hold on to what we have. So I've been in the Netherlands and I've been in Vancouver. I've been spending a lot of time overseas. I almost went to Brazil, but I think I'll probably go until the next 2 weeks. And if I go to Brazil, there's a good chance I probably go straight to Hong Kong as well. I'm going to be going to like 6, 7 countries this one year, which is, kind of crazy if I do follow through with all this. Had a joke there that I had in my head, but I'm not going to say it. So we have 1 minute to market open DAIC. This is my main watch list stock. Yeah, one was a solo trip, the other was a group trip with the team. Different trips, but both unique in its own way, right? Like especially Vancouver with the nature and the hiking. Very cool stuff. So here we are at the open. Looking to take it slow. $647 highs, the AIC. There's 660. Pre-market highs are at 87. CRE popping up a little bit. I think the first 5 minutes will be a good indicator as to what we can see on some of these. So looking to be patient, not looking to rush any trades. But 582 up to 680, about $1 share pop. But does it hold up or does it just, reverse big red candle back down, right? So far, DAIC, big red candle back down. Typical to see this huge range early. CRE still fighting around the $7 price range. Again, it needs to break over these levels at 7. And if it's able to hold, maybe it looks a little bit better, but the risk might still be there for that big drop down dollar share. KB, we must stay focused, brother. We must stay focused. We gotta stay locked in there. KB getting cooked. Phil got a nice winner on MSS. Yeah, CRE seems to be holding up a little bit better than DAIC. So far, it does look decent. You know, it's pushed up a little bit. It's holding up for now. Okay. All right. I'd love to see it hold up the first pullback. Right, here we are. It's pulling back here now. I would love us to not go back down to zero. Well, not zero, but $6. It is a little spready, so I want to keep that in mind. Yeah, MSS is at 220. I see it, but I don't think I'll touch that one. Maybe it goes, maybe it does, but I don't love it. The spread on CRE is going to be tough, I think. Got to stick to small size and just take it slow. So far, it held up that pullback, which is good. MSS back down, a bit tricky there. DIAC perhaps setting up for a red to green. And CRE is fighting at $7, fighting for its life. Nice trade there for the 1 minute candle to make the new high and push. Although small size. Big Steve, how you doing today, man? If you're watching on, hopefully you're doing well. Guys, don't forget if you're tuning in on YouTube to hit the thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. We're now back with the live streams every day at 8 a.m. 8 a.m. start time pre-market, and then next week we're going to push for 7 a.m. start time. So if you're here early and you want to tune in, you can hit the thumbs up, subscribe. We are green from the pre-market, which is good. And we had a small trade there on CRE. I'm using small size to just build slowly here at the open. I'm going to start also going live in a chat room, I think, which is something we discussed on this last trip. Marcelo and I were like, you know, discussing a bunch of plans and things that we need to start doing again that we did in the past. That was really cool. CDTG, OLX, OLOX. OLOX, is it halted up? Is there news on this one? OLOX might become something. I think CRE, if it does, I mean, this is like way back in the mind, but I don't know if it'll happen. If this could go to like $20, would be great. Probably not going to happen though. So as for now, no trades here, just waiting. I need this thing to get back at the highs for me to really get involved. DAIC struggling over 620. Not really holding up that level for the push over the VWAP for the red to green. So far, a little on the slower side here to start. CRE is holding up though so far, which is good. It's fighting here. Which is a good sign. Maybe it keeps holding. And it does a red to green over time. So far, it's holding up that pullback, which is good. Took a loss there on a scalp, and this thing is selling off. So far, okay, so I was green $50. I'm red $50 now on the name. Not great. And it is down into the abyss, breaking down below previous levels. Resumption on OLOX coming up. We got 43 what was it? Well, never mind. 43 and 45 seconds. There we go. So about a minute and some change. CRE, I didn't get in down here. Like 690 range probably would have been a good idea. Obviously, hindsight 2020. But it's a bit of a triple top, quadruple top. I'm not able to push through this level here. And right back down in one candle. The open. OLOX, dip and rip, small size. 500 shares. The halt level is showing 230. Hopefully it's not a 10-minute. Couple seconds. Yep, it is 10 minutes. And the price just jumped right before the resumption, so 10 minutes. 5 more minutes, so at 48:45. 48 minute and 45 seconds. So CRE, I had one good trade. I was red $30, had one good trade, put me up $50, and then I had a trade there, loss. So down 50 on the name. So far into the open, I'm red $50. Ross plus 3K, small account, and down 15,000 in the main account. Getting booked. At least a small account got some love. XPON pushing up a little bit. This one is a farmer mover. Maybe it halts up, but as of now, I'm not super interested. Over 806. It might look a little bit better. I mean, there could be gap to fill there, but I'm not interested in that one. XPON. Some traders might like it. If OLOX isn't good, I'm probably going to just shut it down there. Keep it tight. Got another 2 minutes. We got less than a minute. 45 seconds to OLOX, which does have breaking news and looking decent, looking like we could see something. OLOX at 2:30 resumption, small size, 500 shares. I want to be careful of any halts going down. I think that's probably the biggest risk. But being that the stock is fresh, there's news. We might be able to hold the pullback here in the next 10 seconds and continue. So watching at 203, 244 resumption. There are sellers coming in. Only green, $14 over 2 trades there. Got filled high the first time. It'll be good if it's able to hold up its pullback here. I'm going to give it a chance here at 15. I'm long at 15. Let's see if it's able to push, but there are some sellers coming in. Wow. Okay, that'll be my cue to get out of here. Red $70 on that trade. Didn't take the 10 cents. Thought it would have been worth giving it a chance for 40, but immediately back down on my break even. Probably could have been out a little sooner, some slippage there. So the open proving to be high risk once again here today. XPON halting up at 866. Not really that interested in that one. I'm not sure if it'll be good or not. I thought this one had a better chance being a little bit fresh with some news. Long at 15, green unrealized, what about 15 cents there? Up at 28.30. A seller came in at 25. And it was downhill from there. It's now showing at 157, which is why it's important to try to cut the trade as quickly as possible. So we're red $70 and then $50 on a different stock. We were red $30 in pre-market on SOAR, which was a pre-market trade. Jeez, Louise, that was a bad exit. I think I could have been out much sooner at break even. But I got caught in the slippage there, coming out at 195. Pretty poor exit. The dip and rips, I tell you, man. The dip and rips are brutal here these last few attempts. The last 3 times I tried, all 3 losers, and twice I got caught into a halt down. So I think the sidelines is the key here for me, and I am going to stick around till 10:30, but I'll be on the sidelines here. XPON, it's just hard to say if it'll do something good. I mean, it's been uptrending here, but maybe a little extended. It's always possible that this could be the one that goes, but I think the sentiment so far has been saying, hey, ease off, stay on the sidelines, wait. If the last stock would have halted up and like kept going, you know, it'd have been a good sign. What's the news on this one? A private placement, which is dilution. Not really a great headline. Well, okay, there's different headlines. There's also acquiring assets, establishing an oil and gas exploration platform, which could be big. But then private placement is usually, it's not like an offering directly, but it's a private person who's buying shares at a lower price than the market price, which isn't a great thing. If they're buying at the market price, then good, the stock goes higher. But if they're buying at a lower price, which means they're getting like a discount, you know, you got to think about it like this. Like for me, as the person who's buying the stock now, why would I be buying at 860 if this guy is getting a private placement deal at 4? Or maybe 5 or 6 or 7? So the headline isn't great, and obviously the stock could still go, right? The headline isn't 100% bulletproof or anything, but going off the sentiment of the other move and the earlier stock, I think it's worth being patient. I'll watch from the sidelines. $55.29, about a minute for resumption. Getting cooked at the open. Getting smoked. GK also took a similar trade there, in at 14 on OLOX, selling some at 29, and got caught in the rest down at 83. Yeah, man, that thing reversed pretty quick. But I still say for myself, like, I should have tried to get that break-even exit. But what happened is my mind kind of went on the side of, by the way, the resumption is coming up. I'll cut the chatter here. Couple seconds. There it is. Okay, not bad. Yep, the one that you don't look to take is the one that goes. Classic. Although the dip could have been a bit bigger of a dip, but good push. XPON up to 950 now. This is day trading classic 101, right? Like the one that you're like, okay, let me just, the market will do it to try to it'll do it to try to get you into some FOMO. But we are beyond the FOMO here. It is extended, so I'd say, you got to be very careful about entries here. There's always a chance it could be one of those stocks that keeps going, but usually that's not the case. So you got to be careful of the pullback. Manage risk. The cleanest dip and rip I've seen all month, bro. All the way to 10. Look at that. So this one here is still going 10-13, the halt up. Puts me in a strange place, right? To see a stock be this strong after like such a slow start. I guess maybe this was the ticker to keep an eye on the entire time, but I had no idea it could have done this. It would have done this nice red to green here. But if I'm watching at this type of stock from the start and it's been clean, then it's easier to be aggressive versus, seeing the turbulence and then trying to come into it. It seems like the day is a slower day, but then this one is strong. So what's crazy is that we can't even overrule the bot to see what was said. Why didn't you use the market already? So is the dip worth it? Like this is a tough part, right? This could already be backside. Front side, this could be the beginning of backside. Or is this a good pullback that's going to hold up and potentially go higher? Can we hold here and then curl up? It's good to see some old patterns working out like this, though. 960 breakout. A bit of a double top, but you know, at least it gave a move of about 40 cents. Not bad. You know, back in the day, this is the type of entry that I would never miss. I'd never even like take a second to think twice, but here today, just, you know, I'm still on the sidelines. But a double top doesn't look great. Charcoal record day, perhaps, here. Freaking strongest stock of the day, man. I almost feel a little bit like a deer in the headlights here, like, you know. The halt opposite 1053. If it gives another leg, I think there could be some good opportunities there. But if it's already backside, I'm not going to bother. Yeah, CRE is curling up. DAIC, well, CRE rather, CRE curling up. I don't have the size I want. My hotkeys here. I need to change accounts. Holy shit. Nice, bro. Fuck. I should have just bought it with size. Crap. That was clean. Damn. Ah, okay, okay, all right. Oh, I didn't get filled at 55? Come on. Jesus Christ, bro. if I had market orders there, I could have done a little bit better. My smallest hotkey to buy the ask is like a little too big on the other platform. We made like we made like $1 a share there, but only a partial fill. Gosh, man, terrible. CRE. Damn. It'll be great to see if it holds up the pullback. Maybe this could continue and be something strong here today. Bro, I only filled 90 shares at 55 on the dip, which the stock was there for a while. There was some selling. I should have been able to get filled the entire thing. But we got like 90, we got 87 to 7, then 730 to 760, and then 55 to 8, but partial fill. It's like at least like a 90-cent total there. Whatever. Spreads are freaking miserable. Definitely one to hold a little longer for the bigger picture move, I think. 20-cent scalps or flat trades with the spreads here. Bro. What is this price action here? Well, that didn't hold. Glad I didn't take it. Down to 623. Only a little frustrating because I didn't have size on the entire move up, but I'll take what I could get. An XPON massive red to green. Look at that. Oh my gosh. Why can't a stock hold up though? I mean, I guess XPON is holding up, right? But it seems like stocks can never just hold up properly. First move, bull flag right here. It tries. Washed out, bear flag. And I mean, clean bear flag red to green here, though. Clean flat top breakout. Just if you're watching at that, I didn't get in till up here, like 680. I only made $300 going up with small size and then lost, what, 30 bucks here. So green 260, which feels like ridiculous, but obviously utilizing small size for the open. Can't complain because we would have been big red with the other trades where we got caught, so it all works out. Just the partial fill was the only issue on the last 50-cent winner that we had. We had exits at 92.04 and then 8.10, the best exit there. So being that it gave a good dip and rip earlier, I mentioned that if it gives a second leg, it could be good. I think with small size, XPON is going to be worth it here. Quite the red to green. But if, again, if you're watching at the other stock, there's no way I could have gotten in here. So all good. Just gonna be patient, utilize small size. Hopefully we can see another clean dip and rip like we did the first time. So if you're tuning in on YouTube, don't forget to hit the thumbs up. If you're a new viewer, consider subscribing to the channel. We do appreciate it. The live streams are back starting at 8 a.m. every weekday morning. We're going to push for 8 a.m. and then next week we're going to try 7 a.m. start time. But definitely 8 a.m. for sure. Again, hit that thumbs up as you're tuning in. Yeah. Gotta watch out for backside. But when we zoom out, we're over that pre-market high from a few days ago. Are we in a blue sky zone here, perhaps? Let's check the daily chart. 1343 resumption. I mean, we'll see. Hopefully there's some gap to fill here, hopefully. It does look interesting. The volume on that sell-off, though, was incredible. Jeez. 86 million. But we're now breaking out of that inside candle there, so less than a minute, showing 1090. It might be a 10-minute halt. It's possible. What I need is a clean dip and rip. Yeah, it's definitely going to be 10 minutes, I think, but just to be safe, I'll keep my hands on the buy button. XPON, let's make sure we got the right ticker. $10.33. It's showing $11 pretty much. I think it's going to be 10 minutes, but a couple seconds here if it's not. 5 seconds. 1060 now. We might get it. Taking 38. Hopefully I got a good fill holding. Tight stops. Oh, I sold right below 11. I sold early. Trying again. Tight stop again. Not quite on the second trade. And somehow I'm not red between those two trades, which just doesn't make any sense. Nah, bro. Okay, that'll be my last trade of the day, but let me see my fills because what was that? I got out at 65, bro. What? Oh my god. Damn. Well, I did need to hold through 11, but I made 15 cents on the first trade. It's crazy talk. Oh, that is insane, bro. Wow. Oh my god. It's a strong stock. It's a strong move. Bro, that is ridiculous. That is craziness. That is freaking madness. The open wins again here today. Red at 240 at the open, and I will be shutting it down here. Bro, that is unbelievable. To take such a clean dip and rip and not make money. But in the second trade where I got back in at 11, it did go against me a little bit, and I got the slippage. But I would have thought at least like small green or break even over the two trades. But the key there was to hold through 11, which I didn't do. I needed to stomach the hold right there and that slight churn. And we did have a spread. It was like maybe like 88 by like 70 or something like that. I don't know. But that churn, if I was able to held through, I would have been able to sell it like 11.20 worst case, I think, on the bids. But just a little disappointing. So over the two accounts, red at 240 in one account, and then green. I think I might be net green though at the open, just like $50, because we did have a trade on CRE with the other account. So frustration. But we'll take the green, we'll shut it down, we'll get out of here. I don't know if Marcelo had a great day again. Maybe he posts the recap. If not, I'll upload a recap in more detail of what I did. But maybe the Mighty, because the Mighty's been super locked in, man. Marcelo has been like freaking laser pointer focus. So if he's if he's having a really nice day, hopefully we can see some of those sweet trades that he took in a recap. We'll see what the Mighty does here. But knowing Marcelo, he's already at the gym, right? He doesn't even care about the open anymore. I can't believe I didn't make something on that move, bro. It's just too clean. So I can explain again why I don't show my P&L. I mentioned a couple times throughout the months, but yesterday I also said it. One is that I felt as if people will go short against me when I'm buying, right? Like if you can see exactly where I'm buying, people can go short against me. That's one. Two, there's some edge decay there, right? I think edge decay is fine if someone is paying to learn from me. I think if there's a huge difference there versus everyone on YouTube can just see everything I'm doing. I knew this the last time around, which was like 2022, 2023, 2024. I always knew that people would be able to learn how to trade from me from just watching the live stream, but I didn't even care. Now, with edge decay, I think it's fine if someone is at least paying me, but to just say, hey, see everything for free, nah, I don't think so, man. That is a bit too much. And then there's another reason I can't think of it right now, but so I don't show all my trades. Well, not all my trades, but my P&L the whole time I'm trading. Those days are donezo. But hopefully you guys appreciate the transparency, right? Because some people would have been here lying about why they're not showing it. And oh yeah, the third reason, right? The third reason is that over the last 12 months, I've been struggling out of my mind, right? I got banned from my broker. I had to adjust the way I was trading. I have to adjust my strategy. And so like there's, when you're showing up here and you're red every single day, pretty much, which is what I was, like red a few $100. it doesn't feel good. You know, in your own mind, it feels like terrible, especially when you're in a position where you're trying to help and show people what to do. And then, you know, you also had people in the comments just cooking me every day. Like, I'm like, bro, at this point, I'm just getting cooked. So, you know, to just reduce the pressure and then give myself a chance to just put my head down and like lock in a CRE actually, you know, curling up again. Through 8. Is it worth it? Well, we could double top here. These trades like this, I'm tempted to take, but you know, maybe that is that one last trade that'll put me even more red. So I am compartmentalizing the days as much as I can. I might come back actually today and trade again in after hours with another $100 max loss with small size. But read at the open here. Bro, I could be. Oh my god! I mentioned that my mind is in a place where I feel like I can be one of the best traders here again in the community, in the chat. Right now, I can openly and honestly say I'm not one of the best traders right now, right? But there's a big but. In my mind, I can see it, right? And this is exactly what it was in the past, is that I could see the potential. And so I just got to keep my head down and keep pushing. And over time, what's going to happen is that I'm going to get into that place again where I'm in that flow state. And it'll be very, very clear. It'll be very clear what I'm doing and what I'm about here in this market, right? And this right here is the foundation of it, which is to, you know, be back from vacation, be back on a live stream, and you know, put my best foot forward, my best self, be transparent, and we'll just keep working hard every day. Ups and downs, highs and lows. But the whole month, last month, I didn't live stream because I was on a vacation the whole month. I'm in fact, I'm grateful to trading, because without trading, I don't even think it'll be possible for me to do something like that, you know? I flew back home for one day, which was a weekend day, got 10 hours of sleep. Where I was coming from, my luggage was already like clean, like the clothes was clean, so I didn't have to unpack, luckily. And I just flew the next day to the next country I was going to, you know? Pretty crazy. So hopefully the people appreciate, you know, as KB is saying, they're actually, yeah, hopefully people appreciate the transparency. I guess I'm not as transparent as I used to be with like my P&L on the screen and all that stuff, but I think that people will understand, like, you know, some people have never got their accounts banned still. Like, I don't want to talk too much about this stuff, but I don't know. Like, I don't know what to think of it, right? Like, I myself and a few key other people, we got our accounts banned. I don't know why. Still, 100%. There's been speculation. There's people who I spoke to behind the scenes, but the reality is that the platform that banned me never gave a real clear reason, because there are people who. There's somebody who confirmed to me they're trading 1,000 trades every single day. They're trading 1,000 trades every day. They haven't been banned. So I have no choice but to, like, you know, protect myself a little bit, because I don't know exactly what's going on to 100%, you know. So yeah, I'll shut it down here. Small green day, all things considered. Stay safe, stay green. I think Marcelo will catch you guys in the recap. If not, I'll catch you guys in the recap with a more detailed breakdown, maybe 15, 20 minutes. But yeah, take care. Catch you guys later. Hit the thumbs up on the way out. See you at 8 a.m. tomorrow. 8 a.m. And remember, day trading is risky. Day trading is risky.